But don't let anyone take it away from you. If your wife, your spouse, or anyone comes and says, why are you wasting so much time in the shed working on these little projects and whittling sticks? Because I'm out here trying to become a better version of myself so I can walk back in that house and be a better version of me for you. So we have a new sponsor for these new segments, and there's a hint, and the hint is on my head. I don't often wear a hat, but when I do, it says Smile and Wellness on it. Now, Smile and Wellness is a company that a buddy of mine owns, who I have come to love and respect over the last few years because he's out there doing it right. Now, if you've ever heard of CBD, it's become the rage in the world today, not just the fitness industry for inflammation and things like that, but just for anyone who wants to relax and maybe you have some anxiety or some different things that you want something to help you with that isn't a prescription drug or isn't resorting to something that isn't as forgiving and as wholesome and natural as CBD is. So Smile and Wellness is one of the leaders in the industry because everything that they source is from the cleanest of possible sources. They are out there really funding a lot of stuff to help the industry grow and create education around the fact that CBD is in fact something that many people could benefit from, but many people are not yet educated on the benefits of it. So I want you to check out smileandwellness.com and find out more about CBD and Smilin' specifically so you can benefit from this great product as well. And just tell them Clark sent you. Welcome back to Get Busy Living for our short segments called Living in the Moment. So I don't know if you've ever seen me on my Instagram profile or TikTok doing all of these football trick shots. Let me kind of share the origin with them and why I do them. And it has everything to do with living in the moment, what the concept of these shorter segments is. I was doing a Zoom call one day with the coaching men that I have. So if you don't know what I do, I coach men over 50 on the internet all around the world. I have a fitness program for them. A lot of guys making great changes. But every Saturday morning I do a Zoom call and I like to have special guests come on. One day on TikTok, I saw this guy kind of limping on the beach and he had pretty big physical stature and he had a football. And a guy walked past and he tossed him the football. And I'm like, this guy looked to me like he was a professional athlete at one time. I could tell by how he was limping, like he got everything out of his body, and more importantly, how he threw the football, and then the energy he had when he turned around. So it just so happened that he was a former professional football player, a Super Bowl champion quarterback, and right here, he's on this Wheaties box. He won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Brad Johnson. So I just messaged him on TikTok, and instantly he gave me his phone number, and I was like tripping out. So I can understand how when I do that for somebody, they see me as, I guess we'll call it a celebrity, that they would freak out like, hey, yeah, give me a call. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe Brad Johnson gave me his phone number so I could call him. So I call him, he picks it up, happy and as energetic as can be. I invited him on my Zoom call. He spoke to my guys, and then I challenged him. I said, hey, let's get out there and see who can toss a football into a trash can after we bounce it off the turf from 30 yards. He's like, 30 yards, bounce it off the turf into the can. I said, yep. So as soon as that Zoom call was over, I left the house because I just challenged a Super Bowl champion quarterback to throwing a football. And I'm thinking, what did I just do? How stupid am I? So I ran out. I jumped 2 fences over here at the high school right around the corner from where we're at the studio here. And I started throwing that ball. And it took me 3 days to bounce it off the turf and get it in the trash can. And I don't even think he went out and tried it, honestly. So I won the challenge because he didn't do it. He got caught up doing a different thing. But that was what birthed me going off and doing these football challenges for myself, these trick shots. Because I realized in that moment, out there on that football field by myself, while I was living in the moment, that it was my quiet place. And this is the answer to the question of, Clark, why do you do this? Why do you throw footballs into trash cans and basketball hoops and hit uprights and all of these goofy things that you do? Are you showing off? Well, maybe a little bit. But the real reason I do it is because I'm out there by myself and I'm able to think. I'm able to have quiet time. I'm able to have a conversation with myself that I need to have. I'm able to work through problems and situations in my life that I wouldn't be able to at home. Maybe that's where the problem or the situation was. So I get out there and I will try over and over and over to make these shots. And the other question I get is, how many times did it take for you to make these shots, Clark? And here's the honest truth. Sometimes I do it in the first attempt. I remember one trick I did. I had my Jeep out on the field, a backfield behind the high school. I pulled it behind the upright. I rolled the window down. I went out about 15, no, it wasn't quite that far. I went out maybe 10 yards. So you have 10 yards plus 10 yards in the end zone plus another 5. It was a long, long snap. I went out there, had a regulation size NFL ball, and I long snapped the football over the upright into my window of my car, first try. There have been several times where I've tossed the ball over the fence, into the window. I mean, many of the trick shots, I like to refer to them as skill shots, I've done on one try. Many have taken me 3 days at an average of about 2 to 3 hours each day. So sometimes 6, sometimes 12 hours, I will stay out there. And they're like, Clark, oh my God, don't you have a job? Don't you have better things to do with your time? The answer to both questions is yes, I have a job, and that's part of it. And no, I don't have better things to do with my time because, as I stated, that is my time for me to clear my head. That is the time for me to meditate. That's the time for me to talk to myself, to be a better husband, to be a better dad, to be a better friend, to be a better leader in my business, to be a better example in my community. When I'm walking back and forth, picking up a football that I just missed a shot and I did an intro, hey, what you're going to see whatever I say, and I missed the shot and I erased the video, when I'm walking down to get that ball, I'm talking to myself. You can do this. You've done it before. You've got the skill. You're a champion. You're a winner. All of these things that I say to myself are building me up to eventually make that shot, but they bleed out into my life because all of what I'm saying to myself applies to every other area of my life, my marriage, my kids, my friends, everything. Coming in here and doing this and giving my best to you is what it's benefiting me. So whatever it is that you do, don't let anyone else talk you out of it because they don't understand it. But I will tell you, if you don't have something, find something. If you don't have a quiet place, a meditation spot, look, people, when they talk about meditation, you think you need to go sit like this and cross your legs, crisscross applesauce, or I say Indian style. Oh, I got beat up for that one time. Crisscross applesauce and like this. That's not meditation. What I'm doing out on the football field is meditation for me. Maybe it's crocheting for you. Maybe it's sewing socks. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's editing videos and working on different soldering and stuff like that. Who knows what your thing is? But don't let anyone take it away from you. If your wife, your spouse, or anyone comes and says, why are you wasting so much time in the shed working on these little projects and whittling sticks? Because I'm out here trying to become a better version of myself so I can walk back in that house and be a better version of me for you. How's that for an answer, honey? Okay? Because familiarity breeds contempt. We all have these expectations, but if we're not clear about what we're doing, like I just was with you, why I do the football trick shots, nobody ever knows. So they're always left wondering. So find your thing and be consistent with your thing. Talk to yourself all the time, because here's the truth. Most of us talk to ourselves in an opposite way. If I told myself every time I missed one of those shots, you suck, you can't do it, you've never done it before, you'll never do it, what are the chances of me ever doing it or ever even trying again? And something that I say all the time is this. For me, like for Clark Bartram, It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I will stay out there long enough till I end up doing it. So it's not if, it's when. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Living in the Moment on Get Busy Living. As always, get busy living and make it a great day.